who's here? George Takei.
Where are you,
George, would you stand up? Please stand up. I beg you. Thank you. What, the guy with white hair? You have white hair. See, that's Rosita. Rosita, go to your room. Get out of here. Anyway, wait a minute. Where were we?
Tell us about the night of the Oscar.
Oh, the Oscar. Okay. So George picked me up. I mean, it was absolutely for sure that we were going to be each other's date. Because number one, we were extremely good friends. We laughed a lot. I mean, George made me pee more often than we could ever do. He's very funny. He's this gorgeous man who's extremely funny. And on the way to the theater, the El Capitan it was at the time, we were both nominated. The movie was nominated in every single category. I mean, it was quite a night. And we made up sour grape speeches. I was absolutely certain I was not going to win because, number one, I had flown in from the Philippines where I was making a crappy movie. But I had to because it paid me. So I came in from the Philippines and sleepy. The time difference was huge. George was my date. And in the car, we made up sour grape speeches. You know what sour grape speeches are? Well, you know, she slept with the directors. I mean, you know, that's a sour grape speech. And it's usually almost never true. But we made up a whole bunch of those and laughed at each other and had a great time. And then came the time for the Oscars to begin in this huge theater with all of these hugely famous people. Oh my God, wait, my glasses. Don't let me forget them, okay? I can count on forgetting them. Okay. So we get to the theater and we sit in our seats and the movie starts to win every award you can think of. The best camera work, the best lighting, the best choreography, the best everything. I mean, it literally swept the awards. And the very last one to be announced was, and here are the people who were up for the Best Supporting Actress. George was just before me, and then I came. And I was absolutely certain that I didn't stand a chance because, number one, I had flown in all the way from Manila, the Philippines, and I thought I wouldn't have that kind of luck. And Judy Garland was up for an award, and it was a very special one in her case. It was one for Best Dramatic Featured Actress. Dramatic, not a musical. You know, she was a big musical singing star. And I thought, she has to win. And she was also in the hospital at the time, and they had a TV camera in her room just in case, and I thought, I don't stand a chance. But I wanted to be there from the Philippines just in case. And Rock Hudson calls out the names, and he said, and these people are up for this particular award, Best Featured Actress, and he says, Rita Moreno. I damn near wet my knickers. My mom was sitting in back of me because I had invited her, and she hugged me. And if you go to YouTube, you'll see that. You'll see this woman hugging me from the back, and that's my mommy. And I got up, and I remember saying to myself, I was just, needless to say, I was beyond ecstatic. And I'm walking down the aisle, and it's a long aisle. And I remember saying to myself, don't run. It's not dignified. You make them wait. Because usually what happens is that when a name is called, let's say someone calls right now, Rita Moreno, Best Featured Actress, I get up and I start walking down the aisle, and very often, this is what other actresses used to do, they'd run because they were afraid that the applause would stop before they got to the stage. It's a thing called timing, you know? And I remember saying to myself, do not run, even if the applause stops. Do not, well, it didn't stop because this was the favorite movie of many a year. It didn't stop, it went on and on. Anyway, I get to the stage, Rock Hudson hands me the Oscar, and I say the following. You should have shown this, because it's...
I know, I'm wishing we had the...
Yeah.
Okay, next.
You won't believe it. You can see it on YouTube, though. I hold the Oscar and stare at it, not knowing what I'm going to say. You know, more often than not, actors, you know, in self-defense, try to think of something they can say that's either fun or amusing or touching or whatever, but something, they prepare something in case. So you're not, you know, caught standing up there just, you know, with shit-faced. But I was, with a vengeance. And I said the following things. Oh my Lord. Big pause. And I'm thinking, oh my God, they're waiting to hear something magical. And I say, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I leave you with that. There's more. This is the best part of the story. The hostess of the show that night was Joan Crawford, a very big star of the time, and Rock Hudson, a very big star of the time also, a lady and a man. Now, Joan Crawford at that time was married to, I call him Mr. Pepsi-Cola because I never remember his name, but he owned the Pepsi-Cola company. So she, in her dressing room, which was really in the wings, like right there, yeah, stage right, as a matter of fact, she's standing there after I finish, and as I finish, I start to cry, and I go into the wings, and she sees a photographer waiting for me to come off, and she grabs me. Why? Because she sees a photographer. And I just won an Oscar. So she grabs me like this with my back to the cameraman, and she says, there. And she sees tears in my eyes. And the photographer says to her, Miss Crawford, would you let Miss Moreno go so that I can take a picture? You know, she just won the Oscar. And she says, oh, I can't. She says, she is so upset. And she's got me like this. She's built like a linebacker. And I'm a little woman. And she says, she's so upset. And on her chest, I'm saying, I'm not upset. I'm not upset. I'm not upset. And she wouldn't let me go. She wanted that picture with me. And the cameraman finally, literally pulled me, wrested me out of her arms. And he says, they're waiting in the green room. The press is waiting to take pictures of her. And she finally had to let me go. But that's, what I forgot to mention is that she had had a lot of Pepsi-Colas that night with vodka. So I'm saying she was drunk as a skunk.
You gotta watch the Pepsi-Colas with the vodka, that's dangerous.
Yes.
That's dangerous.
Is that a great story?
I love it. I want to keep it going with your storytelling. Backstage, you were mentioning that there's a story about Shirley MacLaine.
I was just reminded of that today, because I'm staying in a hotel where I've been before, and one time I was in the lobby, about to go up to my room, and there's Shirley, and I know Shirley for a long time, and she was a huge star then, and she had also been talking a lot about the other life. and ghosts and spirits and all kinds of stuff. And people were beginning to think she was a little nuts. But she insisted that she had seen all kinds of apparitions and things. So anyway, so as I'm walking to the elevator, I hear, "Rita, hi!" And it's Shirley MacLaine saying, you know, I don't know if you youngsters know who she is, but she does. Big time, especially that big time stuff. "Rita, hi, it's Shirley, me, Shirley." He said, "Oh my goodness, Shirley, how are you?" And we gabbed for a little bit, and then I said, well, you know, I have to go back to my room because I have to make some phone calls. And she said, "Hey, how's Marlon?" He was my boyfriend for about 8 years. And she says, "Hey, how's Marlon?" And I said, "Shirley, Marlon's been dead for ages." She says, "Oh, well, I'll say hello to him for you."
I love it.
I'll say hello to him for you. It's pretty funny.
Tell us a little bit more about your relationship with
What?
Marlon. Tell us about your relationship with Marlon.